Hi there, this is Robert Evans. It's actually been a while since I've last recorded a video, so I've decided to record another video. This one is going to be a little different to how I've been recording videos in the past. The reason being, what I do, I get 1 or 2 emails a week from people asking, more about what I do, how I've got to where I am, what's your background, how did I start out in business, how have I progressed, how did I develop my business, and what have you. So I had 2 options. One option was to sort of write it down in a book, but it takes forever for me to write something like a book, so I decided, well, the quickest way is to record a short video. So what I'll do, I'll try and fit all this in around about 10 minutes. It's not one of these videos that will go on and on and on. I'll try and fit it in about 10 minutes, a quick sort of run through of what I've done in the last 20 years to where I am now. Okay, so first of all, if you can see on this picture, I'm actually at my Facebook page here. Let's just move this over. There you go, that's that picture there. This is where I'm actually speaking from. I'm actually looking right now at this screen here. This is where I work in an office in my garden, and it's pretty good. It's a around about 12 foot by 12 foot office, so it's nice and cozy, got a nice heater there. So this is where I work. Actually, that picture is a bit dated. It looks a bit different. I've got more shelving here now. I've got a big radio there, and it looks a bit tidier as well. But this is just an idea of where I'm speaking from at the moment. Okay, I better crack on because I'm going to be 10 minutes before we even started. Right. So background. Okay, I left school in 1984. I was born and bred in Lancaster. Left school in 1984. Didn't go to university. Worked in my own business. I actually ran a mobile disco business for about 2 or 3 years when I first left school, and I was quite successful actually. I did discos for engagements, birthdays and what have you. Did that for a good few years, and ended up, and I don't know how I ended up, but ended up working in a sheet metal factory. I think it was a chat that I had with my dad one day, and he sort of said, you got to get yourself sorted out, get yourself a trade, son. And so I ended up in a sheet metal factory and hated every single moment of it, but I still ended up working there for 3 long years, 3 long boring years. Left there and found myself working on a market stall selling men's clothes. Did that for 2 years, again on my own. Fairly successful, earning maybe £200 a week back then, late 80s, early 90s, not too bad a wage, and progressed from market stalls to also doing car boot sales, selling products and stuff at car boot sales. And it was at one car boot sale that I noticed the organiser of the car boot sale who would actually come around, collect the rent from people who had stalls, and then just go sit in his car read his newspaper for about 2 or 3 hours while the car boot sale occurred. And I remember sitting there totting up all the payments he was receiving, and there was probably 50 or 60 people who had stalls there, so he was making a good few pennies, and he actually ran a car boot sale both Saturday and Sunday, so he was probably taking £800 or £900 a week just by running these car boot sales. So I decided to have a try myself, and my first one was in a school playground. Had about 10 people turn up with stalls, but it was a start, and it got me going. And before I knew it, I was running 2 car boot sales a weekend, and I was making nearly £1,000 a week running these car boot sales. Because I was pretty successful running these car boot sales, I had other people, friends and family, asking how to do it themselves. And so what I did, I remember writing a guide on how to run a car boot sale and passing it on to friends and family for them to run theirs in different parts of the country. Just to go back a bit, this was before all the health and safety legislation came in. Back then in the late 80s, early 90s, you could literally run a car boot sale anywhere, in a car, in a car park. Supermarkets used to have them on the car parks. I ran mine in school playgrounds, believe it or not. Now it's a lot more difficult. In fact, it's almost impossible to run a car boot sale unless you've got loads of you've got insurance and everything else. You've got to have toilets and high-vis jackets and what have you, so it's not as easy as it was then, but that's what I did. So I ran 2 car boot sales. Then I wrote a guide that I passed on to friends and family about how to run a car boot sale, and decided to, because a lot of people were enjoying reading it, I decided to maybe try and sell it myself. And I actually advertised in a magazine that's now no longer available called the Exchange and Mart, and I advertised this manual, how to run a successful car boot sale, in the Exchange and Mart every week. Ran a display advert, and within 12 months I'd sold over 5,000 copies. I was selling this for £19.95. I'd sold over 5,000 copies of this car boot sale manual, earned nearly £100,000 gross. Probably net was about 60 to 70,000. Bearing in mind I was 23, 24. That, you know, back in the early 90s, 60,000. You know, I just went crazy with that money. I ended up buying a Porsche and what have you, and just wasting the money on bits and pieces like that. But I had a heck of a time. But as I said, wasted it on cars and what have you. So I had this magazine, this manual's been sold in Exchange and Mart, building up a good customer base, and then I decided to write another manual, and the manual was actually how to sell an information product. So I basically wrote what I'd done with this car boot sale manual, how I'd written it, where I got it printed, where I advertised it, how I then packaged it and sold it and whatever. So I wrote a guide on how to sell information products, and sold thousands of that product as well, again advertising Exchange and Mart. And by then I was then sending the sales literature to customers of the car boot sale manual. It wasn't one of these where I had a business plan and everything else kind of business. I was just making it up as I was going along. I was just trying to learn as I was going along. Fast forward this story, after about 5 years I had about 30,000 customers, and I'd introduced, I think it was about 20 different products I'd introduced. I was direct mailing 10,000 letters a week to customers about different products, and still advertising in Exchange and Mart and other magazines as well. I think there was one called The Trader, and I used to advertise in the national press as well. And I ran this business for about 10 years. And bearing in mind back then, postage was very cheap, and actually running a mail order business was very easy at that time, and money was very easy to come by. And I was probably earning nearly £100,000 a year running this amateurish mail order company. I'd actually moved into an office. I was working at home, but I actually moved into an office, purpose-built office, to do it all. And that's what I did for 10 years, ran this mail order company. If you, as I said, I'm here on my Facebook page. I've only got a pitiful 310 people. If you want to join my Facebook page, it's facebook.com/Robert Evans and then the number 2, Robert Evans 2. If you ask me, I will hook you up with this Facebook page, and you can actually look at some pictures of my office. Let me just see if I can find them quickly. Right, where are we? Let me have a look. I think I'm on this page here. I show you the office that I worked in running my mail order company. I was earning £100,000 at least a year. That's how much I was paying myself. Ran it for 10 years. Right, here we go. Mail order. This one here. Let me just run down here. These pictures here. This one. This was my office. This is where I ran my mail order company. In these pictures here, and this is my office here. See if I can bring this bigger picture. That was me. That's where I sat. That was my desk. This here was the inserter machine. That's where I ran. I did do some inserting myself, but I had a direct mail company who did all my mailings for me. This was all literature that I had and products and stuff. These were crates that the Royal Mail used to take the post in. Let me just see if I can move this over. So that was where I ran my business. Made over £1 million running that business. Did it for 10 years. And now I work in this is my office here. Anyway, let's go back to the front page. So that is the history of a mail order business. And then to be honest, I'd had enough. I'd earned plenty of money. I'd end up buying my house and everything else, and decided, well, I had enough really, and started to sort of semi-retire. I was interested in the internet and marketing. I've always been interested in marketing, and on a very, very part-time basis, just sort of looked on the internet and thought, I wonder if some of my products would sell well on the internet. It might be a lot easier than actually running a mail order company. So I started, again, very amateurish, just doing a little bit of marketing on the internet, and quickly realized that you needed an email list. Now, I've got a direct mail list of people, of customers with their addresses, but I had no email addresses. So what I did, I actually posted a letter to all my customers, around about 30,000 customers. I actually posted a letter to them explaining the situation, what was happening, that I was moving online, and if they'd like to keep up with news information and what have you, just opt into my mailing list. So I sent this to 30,000 people. I think I sent about 5 or 6 letters to them in total. So each of the 30,000 people got about 5 or 6 letters, and I managed to get about 12,000 people to opt into my list, and that took what, 2 months, 3 months. So I got about 12,000 people in about 3 months. So basically, again, I was learning as I was going along. Started emailing the list about different products that I had and products that I was developing, and this actually worked very well, and people were buying the products straight away. Some people were still buying them offline, either buying them by sending an order form that they printed off on the computer and posted it to me, but gradually people were starting to order online, and then PayPal came along, and that made it so much easier for people to order. So basically what I did, I started creating different products, again as I did with a mail order company, but I was creating products for sort of running an online business, and then emailing my email list, and I was also direct mailing as well, so I was actually selling internet products offline as well. So I was doing that from 2004 I think I started out, 2003, 2004, and I've been doing that ever since. So basically what I've been doing is gradually building up my email list. It now stands at around about 40,000 names. Got my offline customer list as well, which I do still direct mail, but basically I just create products and email my list. Now I know it sounds easy saying I email my list, but there is an art to emailing your list. It's not a simple case of just sending a quick email and saying, hi, this is Robert, do you want to buy my product? If you do, go to this website. It's not as easy as that. There is a way of writing an email, and I spent about 2 or 3 years learning the best way to write emails, to the point where now I can actually send an email and get orders every single day, which I do. And I've developed a style which some people like, some people don't like, but it certainly works for me. It's producing a good few many orders. It's a sort of personality style of email, and it's something that I'm still working at as well. It's not something I'm happy with 100%. I'm still working at it, but it's really working well. And I've had as if you follow my emails, I've had people who write to me and hate my guts and want to do all sorts of nasty things to me, but I've also had people who say they enjoy my emails and look forward to receiving them. So it seems to be working. I'm not out to please everyone. If you like my style of emails, that's great. If you don't, then fair enough, move on to somebody else who writes in the style that you prefer to read. But it's certainly worked for me, and it's something that I've continued to do, and I'm still learning. And again, it's from receiving emails and what have you from people asking, how do you write your emails? How can I learn the style of writing that you write? And it's very difficult to sort of say, well, you do it like this. So this is what I'm currently working on. I'm actually working on it's going to be a weekly sort of like a study mentoring course of how to write email marketing emails in a way that creates orders, generates orders, and the recipients actually enjoy reading your emails. So it's something I'm busy working on at the moment. I've been working on it actually for about 2 or 3 weeks. I thought I'd have it finished by now, but I haven't. So it's something I'm working on at the moment. So that's what I'm currently working on. so that should be ready in the next few days. So I think I've covered as much as I can. So I did, just to recap, so I did my mail order business, then decided I'd had enough, semi-retire, got into internet marketing, started slowly, built up an email list, which I still continually build my email list. You know, I don't just sort of forget about building my email list. I concentrate on that. So I create products, I sell products, I build a list. I've moved into other niches. I don't just do internet marketing now. I do. I've got a product that I help small businesses with. I'm looking maybe getting into the consulting side of things as well. But it's all sort of, most of it now is all online, and it's something that I've actually enjoyed. And from being sort of semi-retired, not having to really work as much as I need to, I actually end up working 8-9 hours a day on my internet marketing business. Not because I need to, because I actually really enjoy doing it. So I hope I've covered everything. I've probably gone really quickly over the internet marketing. I'll probably record another video, maybe with more detail of my internet marketing and what I've actually done. But yeah, I'm looking at the time now. I've spoke for 16 minutes, so I don't want to be going on too much longer. So I hope I've sort of covered the basics of what I did, my background, where I am at now, and what I am continuing doing and what I intend to do in the future. As I said, I'll probably listen to this video, or watch this video myself, and maybe record another one. But I hope at the moment this has just covered, give you a little background to how I've, from leaving school to where I am now. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video. And as I said, I may record a second one, maybe with more detail of my internet marketing business. But in the meantime, thank you very much for viewing this video.